Okay, good morning, everybody. The time is 9:04 a.m. I'm going to call this special called meeting, the B County Commissioners Court, to order. Today is Monday, October 28th, 2024. We are physically located at the B County Courthouse, Commissioners Courtroom number 110, 105 West Corpus Christi St, Beeville, Texas, 78102. That was the call to order. If everybody would please stand and join Commissioner Farias in a brief prayer.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for the opportunity to be here today. We thank you for all the audience that's here. We ask a special blessing for them and for all the children that are here. We ask you to watch over all the decisions that we make here in this court. We ask you for some rain, to please bless our county with some rain and to, just get everybody, farmers and agricultural people, everybody, to get us right with some rain here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And the Texas Pledge.
Honoring the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Bat 1,000, I know. Little block is gone. That's right. Thank you all for attending. This has been a wonderful meeting. For our students in the audience today, thank you all for being here today. I know you've got some special treats, and I hope you enjoy your time visiting the courthouse, and I hope you enjoy your time watching your B County Commissioners hard at work here at our Commissioners Court meeting. Agenda item number 4 is recognition of visitors. This is not public comment. If you wish to address Commissioners Court, we can hear that under agenda item number 6. This is agenda item number 4, where we welcome you all for being here. Thank you for attending. Please come back frequently. And if there's any individual in the audience who does not wish to make a public comment, who is not on an agenda item and going to present later on during the agenda, but would like to identify themselves for the court record at this point in time, you may do so. Show of hands, anybody that wants to identify who they are, and please stand up and say your name.
Well, I'm Chuck Milton. I'm the director of the school, and these are the children from First Baptist Church School, 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. We have Ms. Barris as one of the teachers, and Ms. Knowlton is here as one of our teachers.
Welcome all. Thank you all for being here. Anybody else? Okay, moving on. Agenda item number 5, Commissioners Court, opening remarks. I believe Commissioner Olivares, you were first this morning.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I'd like to start out with some recognition. I'd like to recognize our new Community Affairs Director, Bobby Jameson, and also the Sheriff-elect that attended a town hall meeting that I held last week in Papalote, doing very, very well. Also, I'd like to recognize Ms. Deb Castaldo, who is the Chief of Appraisal. She also provided some value information at this. And there's another person I'd like to recognize who's been providing a vast amount of education to me in how county government runs, Candy Estrada. So last week she assisted me in obtaining some key information that will broaden my knowledge with county government, how it operates, and that also enhance my ability to represent my constituents. So things that I'm looking at is, the TAC legal publication website, and then there's a lot of great information on, how Texas laws apply to county officials, and then also information on roads and bridges and things of that nature. So great information that's out there. On the general front, our EOC building, we continue to make progress well. Today we'll be conducting a first punch list item in one of the larger conference rooms to get that closed out, which would also provide a storage facilities for us to put in the furniture that we receive. But the tile and the exterior showers are now finished. The ceiling grid is now installed, and the millwork is complete. This week we're planning on finishing the plumbing trim out, installing toilets, partitions, and toilet accessories, complete the painting, and then also installing doors and hardware. So things are moving along good, gentlemen, and got a good team out there, so things are going good. I also had an opportunity to represent our court here at a Greenbelt Renewable Wind Farm Overview, which was pretty enlightening. A couple of key takeaways. They're looking to build a 200 megawatt facilities here in North Lee County. The group are former members of Orsted. They're basically looking for landowners that have 60 acres or more, so they are looking for some quality. But in their presentation, they did an overview of the pay structure to the landowners. Basically, the way this is going to work, Green Bay will start the process, setting up the leases with agreements with the landowners, and then they're going to basically sell the lease to another group of investors. So, pretty interesting process. They did discuss an issue that they're having, which I wasn't aware of, that even resided here, but the horned toads or horny toads. So there's a big issue around that. I didn't know that. Kind of like the endangered turtles, sea turtles. So, big issue.
That's good.
Yeah.
Need to-
Also, they talked about the end of life or retirement of the facilities and what would be included in removal. The key message here, I think Commissioner DeWitt brought it up last time for the wind farms, is make sure you have some legal representation of someone that's capable of reviewing the contracts. So give an example, what does removal really mean? Are they just going to take it off the top and leave everything down below? A lot of questions that need to be reviewed, so we highly recommend getting some expert advice exactly what they're talking about, because it could be a little confusing. Also attended the Nueces Basin Region 13 Flood Planning Roadshow. The city of Beeville was in attendance, but basically they overviewed our flood hazards here in the county, floodplain management, and flood mitigation solutions. So it was a good little session I went to. But the most important thing is how we can obtain funding through some of the grants that they're going to be providing. And some of these grants are basically no matching, so that's a good. The interesting thing about applying for grants, they don't happen right away. So we're looking 2-3 years down the road before we can get money. So always a learning process. We need the money now, not 4 years from now. So good. So also upcoming, I'm going to continue broadening my knowledge in county government. So we'll be attending a Texas Public our fund investment conference here coming up here in the beginning of the month. And also I'll be attending a road and bridge. So I want to learn how to build better roads. I want to understand the mechanics, the specs behind it, what can we do just to make our roads better. In Skidmore at the JP office, just wanted to give a little quick update on that. We're waiting a final assessment from SurfPro to do their assessment. The interesting thing about that office there is the discoloration of the floors where it has receded. Can't even tell that it was affected. The floors are back to normal. We had some floors that were buckling a little bit because due to the rain, the water, humidity, all those kind of things, so the floors started buckling. But if you walk in there now, you couldn't even tell that it was affected. So, all the materials, we were looking at doing an upgrade, and all the materials have been received, but I placed that on hold until we get a final assessment from SurfPro, and then we'll get them kicked off. And basically, that's replacing the doors, the windows, and bringing it up to speed. Also, I'll be hosting a town hall meeting this coming Tuesday in Skidmore, high school cafeteria. So I encourage everyone to attend. A lot of great information will be disseminated during that meeting. And then also we're continuing to finalize who owns Crow Park. That's been an interesting process. We've been doing some title searches. We're finding great information, but we're still not 100% who owns it. So I'm scheduled to meet with our county attorney to make some reviews. And then what's ironic, I know Commissioner DeWitt had some family that was associated with it, so now it makes 2 on the court that has family. So I found out this weekend that we're related to the Crow family somehow. So that was pretty interesting. So it might be Commissioner DeWitt and I have participation in this park. You know, who knows?
I don't know if y'all can vote on anything together.
I
ever
see
again.
So interesting times here.
That's right. Yeah.
In Tynan, I facilitated a meeting with the Nueces River Authority and Tynan Water District to look at possible grants to support their needs in the water district. So good thing. Good information came out. The best thing about this grant is no matching funds to the county, so that's a big plus. But again, the money is down the road, not so That's a little bit of an update from coming there. So our commissioner might have topped into your minute or two here a little bit, so.
That's all right. I got
A
plenty.
little bit of your time. So with that, I'm going to pass to my commissioner to the right.
All right. Let's see, I attended the reception for the 2 new surgeons at Lesmond, along with Judge and Commissioner Olivares, and that was a well-attended reception. A lot of the community went out to see our 2 new surgeons that we have. One of them lives here in Beeville, and the other one's still commuting, but is looking for a home. Had a meeting with GrantWorks and with Jennifer Reyna to try to finish up the courthouse generator. It's on the last little bit. It's on the contractor to do the cleanup out there and restore it back the way it was. So we're about to put a finishing touch on that, on the generator on site. Courthouse sprinklers are also this week will be completely finished, 100%. They'll all be working and restored back the way they should be working, and that's going to be done. They're about 90% now. The rest of the remodeling at the community affairs, to update the bathrooms that were outdated, is about, I'm going to say about another 95% complete there. They're doing some painting and touch-ups, waiting for some grab bars. But if you get a chance, go by there and take a look at their work. And they're back up to where they're supposed to be. Attended the state judges and commissioners last week and picked up some good information. One of the things that we do during budget is allow for the exempt status for the employees, and it did go into effect. It will take effect January 1. So we're prepared for that already. Thank you, Ms. Auditor. So we've got that lined up. And there was some other information there coming up, but I can pass that around to the court later on that there. Let me see. The Judge Bauer and the auditor's office asked to get a awning put on the back door. It's pretty dangerous, and the safety when they walk in, all the water that comes off of the gutters and stuff gets on that door, and they could have a slip and fall there. So we're working on that, on the cover there for that. Attended the Halloween downtown Saturday, and it was really well attended. I saw lots of folks there, lots of kiddos there. I didn't know it was going to get that big, but we went down there, and it was 6 blocks of just vendors and kids and costumes, and it was pretty nice to see. You know, so that was there. That was great. Also had a call on Heffernan Street. I've called on the brush that's overcoming onto the road. I've called the city of Beeville, and they're already they put it on the list to put their boom max on it and clear it up, because it's already, all the growth is coming on past the cemeteries. So I've got that going there. And we voted last week. So folks, if you haven't voted, please go out and vote. Okay? With that, I'll pass to Commissioner DeWitt.
Thank you, Commissioner. I had quite a few of the things that they've already talked about, so I won't go over them again. I'll save some time. But I would like to do something a little bit different.
Thank you, Mr. DeWitt.
We always talk about the great work that Road and Bridge does. Almost every meeting we compliment Road and Bridge, and they do a fantastic job. Right now they're in Pettus doing paving. It's much needed. They've moved up there. But I want to concentrate on another, I call it a department, but they call it an office. I want to talk about the sheriff's office. We never give them credit for what they do. They're on duty 24 hours a day. Because of them being on duty, we sleep well at night. They are out there. They are the sentinels of B County. You know the old movie, one of the Star Wars movie, where this big guy is standing there with a big sword on this long escalator, and he says, "You shall not pass." That's the way I feel about the sheriff's office. They're here to protect us. You've got deputies. You got a sheriff. You got a chief deputy. You got dispatchers. You got jailers. You got the maintenance folks. They work 24 hours a day. Most of us don't realize that until we call, and they're there. They answer the phone. They're always courteous. You know, we've got 2 law enforcement people that are going to be, I'm going to call it cycling out because of an election. Ronnie Jones and Alden Southmaid, the sheriff and chief deputy, with well over 30 years of law enforcement experience. Okay, think back now. I want y'all all to think back. We haven't had any controversies. We haven't had any graft. We haven't had any thefts. These folks have honored their profession. When you see them, thank them. And when you see these dispatchers and these deputies, thank them for the job they do. We're lucky we're in a small town. We appreciate our deputies. We appreciate our dispatchers and our jailers. Some of the larger communities don't. Pay for their lunch sometime. You don't make a big deal out of it. When you pay out, hey, those two deputies over there, let me have their ticket. Help them out a little bit. They're not making a great salary. They do it because they love the job. And I'll say again, they're working 24 hours a day. Think about it now. How many people do you have to have in your organization to keep it going 24 hours a day and running smooth? And it runs very, very smooth. Judge, can we give them a round of applause, sir?
Certainly.
Let's stand.
We get the one that's here. Is Ronnie hiding out in the hallway? Ronnie, come on in and take a bow. Chief Deputy Ronnie Jones.
He won't do it?
Oh, there he is. Yay.
That's all, you can go back.
Judge. With that, I will conclude my remarks, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner Lenny?
Good job, good job. Had several calls, probably a couple handfuls of calls of questions and requests from constituents, which got all taken care of. Had a discussion with the city on some things that will be brought to the court at a later date. And I also want to thank Philippita at Lamastad. She had a pumpkin patch community event there at Lamastad last week, and her adult daycare center and her sister's adult daycare center and the nursing homes, they all got involved and all came together, and they had different events going on, and it was a really, really good turnout. And she had asked me to come to attend to that, and I'll thank her for that and for putting that on. It was good. Also, if anyone's interested, St. James will be having their fall festival this Saturday starting at 5 o'clock. If anyone wants to attend that, they have bingo and different things going on, so I'll put that out there. And also, I want to thank the citizens of the county as a whole. Normally, when voting comes around, we are hoping within our 2 weeks of early voting to reach 20% of the county to come out and vote. And as of yesterday, we were at 4,066 people, which is 25.1% of the county. So that was great. You know, don't care who you're voting for, doesn't matter, but just get out and vote. And, you know, as a county, let's try to set a record of number of votes that are coming out. So the number already is tremendous, and we just want to keep it going. So thank you to everyone that has gone out to vote, and I encourage everyone that hasn't yet to please do so. With that, I'll pass back to Judge.
Well, thank you all for your updates and statements. I'll keep mine incredibly brief. By that, children, I mean it'll take about 5 minutes for me to ramble myself out of things to say. No, I'm just kidding. That's a great turnout, though. That really is. Good job. And if I think I can I just redirect a little bit? Or we all care who you vote for, and we want you to vote for the people that we think you ought to vote for. But it's more important that you do exercise your constitutional rights if you have those. Children, you don't yet, but you will soon. Remember, I think I was informed at our last Commissioners Court meeting 90 days before, either 60 or 90 days before your 18th birthday, you can register to vote. So if you're born in the fall, make sure you do so early, or else you'll miss your opportunity to vote this time, or next time when that time comes. The only other thing that I'd like to say is, and again, this is to our kiddos, think about this. Think about if I'm an apple salesman and nobody in this room will pay more than $1 for an apple, right? So I know how much I can get for that apple. Now let's say Commissioner DeWitt comes in and he inserts himself in between our commerce. So I'm going to have to sell, or I'm going to sell first to Commissioner DeWitt, and then Commissioner DeWitt's going to sell to y'all. Now Commissioner DeWitt knows he can only get an apple, $1 for each apple. Is he going to pay me $1 for the apple, or is he going to pay me less? He's going to pay me less, right? Because he has to make some profit. When you're dealing with large international companies or individuals who are trying to put something together, and they tell you on the front end that they're not ultimately going to own what they're trying to buy from you, that they're going to turn over and sell it to somebody else, think about where their profit has to come from, and then think about the offer that they make you, because they're never going to be economically able to pay you the same amount that the end user would pay. Did that make sense, or did I miss stuff? Did I leave it? Was that clear enough? Right?
Watch out for big teeth.
That's right.
If I could expand on that.
Absolutely.
Commissioner Oliveris was telling us at the conference he went to, and I'm sure you got a nice meal out of it too. They're going to do the leasing, and they're going to sell the leases to another party. Then that party is going to sell the leases to another party that's going to do construction. Then that party is going to sell the construction to another party that's going to operate it. So the poor landowner says, well, who do I talk to when I have a problem? We've gotten into that more than once. So buyer beware. I forget what the word is for. Et tu? No. Anyway,
Yeah,
be
I
careful.
don't know. I should know
You
that.
should
I
know.
should
You studied
that. I'm sorry. I'm
So what happens-
embarrassing me in front of the children.
They will come in, and these people are really slick, and they will promise you the world, and they'll get the leases signed, and they'll sell them. Then they're gone, never to be seen again.
But they keep a piece of the profit for themselves.
Yes, they do. Look for that sequel.
A little piece that otherwise could go in.
That's it. Thank you.
Anybody else? All right. That's all I have for y'all this morning. Moving on to agenda item number 7. The following items are open. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me roll back. Agenda item number 6, public comment. Are there any members of the public who wish to address Commissioners Court? Going once, going twice. Children, none of y'all want to come up? You can stand at the lectern. You can tell us anything you want. We can't even respond. What's that?
Mike Knight's grandson might want to say this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's hiding up there. Green shirt.
No pressure.
He'll say a few. I bet you can say some words.
For the students in the room, public comment is an opportunity for any member of the public to address Commissioners Court on any subject that they want to. They have to conform to rules of decorum, but they can address anything. They can criticize, compliment, explain, reveal, provide any type of information or say anything that they want for a short period of time. It's kind of fun when they do it. You never really know what's going to happen, and it's always instructive. But that's what public comment is. So last opportunity, nobody, no problem. I wouldn't have raised my hand either if I were in y'all's seats. Moving on to agenda item number 7. The following items are of an administrative nature. Commissioner's Court has been furnished documentation on each item, and all such items may be acted upon by one vote without being discussed separately unless requested by a commissioner or county judge. Before I take a motion, I will alert everybody. There was a packet, page number 86 is a request to utilize the county credit card. It was inserted under subpart 7B. It should be under, should it be pulled? Should be under
Is there, because we have several agenda items on.
travel requests, right?
It's under travel request, but it should have been discuss and consider action.
Okay.
And they are using the credit card immediately after.
Okay, so I'm going to pull under agenda item 7B, it's 7B1, packet page 86 on your agenda packet. I'm going to pull that from agenda item number 7 to discuss separately.
Move to approve without item 7B1.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yes, I'd like to bring up that first page that says the monthly reports and the offices that are still lacking those reports.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I just wanted to bring it up for you to please look out. We're 3 months behind on 2 departments and 4 on another. Those 2 departments that are 3 months behind do have quarterlies to the state that are attached to those reports, so we will not be able to reap our timely monies that come to the general fund for submitting those reports timely. We will not be able to reap those monies, so I just wanted to bring that up, that hopefully those departments are working to get those.
Thank you, Mrs. Cantu. For the students in the audience, what she's saying is we have county government is somewhat broken up into different elected officials, and certain of those departments have reporting requirements back to the state where we remit funds that we receive on behalf of the state, and then we give them back to the state. when we report timely, the state of Texas gives us back a little bit of that money. So it's actually a revenue item for the county. When we fail to timely submit those reports, we lose the opportunity to recoup that 5%. And that's what Mrs. Cantu was alerting us to. Correct. That's right. No bonus points.
That's right. You get rewarded for turning in early.
That's right. Ding. So it's important for us to make those timely, and we'll continue to look into that. Thank you for bringing it to the court's attention. Are there any other questions for Mrs. Cantu? Moving on, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Moving on, discuss and consider action on the following items. I'm going to move agenda item number 24 up to the front of the list. Agenda item number 24, approved statement of work contract between B County and Civic Plus for the migration of the county's website, hosting, and social archiving. Craig, how are you this morning, sir?
Good morning. Craig Oliver, IT Director. Gentlemen, this was an item that was brought up in budget during budgetary meetings. This is to not only give our web presence a facelift, but it's also designed to also create security measures as we keep moving forward into the cyber world. This will integrate in with our network so we can have more control for the users that access it and update it. But it also will help us complete our compliance for security measures for ADA compliance and things like that, along with our social media archiving, which we have nothing on that. So this will actually put that in place. And at that point, it's not only a revamp of what we have in our presence and the way it looks to modernize it, but it's really more of a security measure to protect the county as we continue with our web presence and other things.
That's $2,000.
I'll let you collect it, Commissioner.
So sorry.
Duly noted,
No
Judge.
problem, no problem.
Duly noted.
Please proceed.
So if you have any questions or comments about it, I'm available to answer.
Dollars and cents, how much did it change?
First year for both platforms, it's going to be roughly right under $30,000. It's going to take about 6 to 8 months to do the complete migration of the website, just because of all the content that we have available to the public, such as documents and things like that, that have to be migrated in. The majority of them are currently not tagged right now for ADA compliance. So as they migrate, they also have to create that when they migrate it, and that's the major part of it. After that, I believe both platforms are roughly about $7,000 a year to continue to move forward. One example that they provided during budgetary meetings was there was a county in Colorado that didn't have any ADA compliance with that. A constituent sued the county for that, and that one lawsuit passed, and the county had to pay over $38,000. There was another class action lawsuit of counties from Northern California to Washington because of information requests under the Transparency Act and Freedom of Information that I believe was well over $2.5 to $3 million that all counties had to pay their share. It wasn't equal share, but it was a combination of all the counties. So I mean, it is a reality that it can be a liability to the county. So my position is this is a small cost to keep the county safe of what could happen.
Judge, if you would, the numbers I see on page 208,
Yes, sir.
the total investment in this return is $29,524.80. And then the annual recurring service is $11,681. That's moved to approve.
Oh, I have a motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
And how long will it take you to migrate all this in 6 months?
Social archiving can begin immediately. The website migration they're contracted to take about 6 to 8 months, roughly, depending. There's somewhere in the neighborhood of, I believe they told us when they basically scraped our website. There's roughly about over 2,000 documents, I believe. So they have to touch each one of those manually to do that. So it's about a 6 to 9 month process.
And you'll keep us updated. I just want to, if we pay for it, I want to make sure that we implement what we're paying for, not just sit there.
I think we can definitely pull down all the COVID-19 updates if they're still part of the
Yes.
webpage. That's a lot of documents.
Will be noted.
Somebody was quite verbose during the conference.
That's all.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, Mr. Oliver, for bringing this to our attention, and I'm excited to provide, greater usability for all of our constituents. So I think that's a great opportunity for us to bring it to more folks. So thank you. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you for being here this morning, Mr. Oliver. Be safe in your travels.
Thank you, gentlemen. If the court will excuse me.
You are excused, sir.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Same to you, sir. Okay, moving on. Agenda item number 8, introduction of Sandra Musquez, B County Veteran Service Officer. Come on down, Ms. Musquez.
Good morning. I just want to say, first of all, thank you for the warm welcome and the introduction.
Hold on real quick. Please proceed.
The public has been, very welcoming and just very helpful in anything that they can do. I'm just very excited to be in this position and eager to learn more. There's a lot to be done. I'm working closely with the Texas Veterans Commission to get my accreditations. I'm also working closely with the nursing homes and the adult daycares because I know they service a lot of our veterans here in B County. And I'm also working very closely with other VSO offices around the area, Karnes City, San Patricio County, Nueces County, Refugio. They're all reaching out and just giving me support and anything that they can help with. Because like I said, there's much to be done. There's a lot that I still have to learn, but I'm very eager to serve and help our veterans in B County.
Ms. Musquez, I'm so excited that you took the position. I'm excited for B County. I'm excited for you, and I look forward to seeing that office continue to serve B County's veterans the way that it has for so many years.
Absolutely. I plan, I hope to grow it and be able to bring more services to our veterans here, or just be able to help them in better ways to get them to where they need to, or the information that they need. Because there's a lot out there, a lot of veterans don't really know. I myself, I'm just now learning. There's so much out there, so I'm very excited to be able to bring that to our veterans.
And I was going to ask that you just in maybe a 1-minute encapsulation tell the commissioners a little bit about yourself, your service history, what brought you to become a B County employee.
Well, I married my husband. I have 4 kids actually. My husband is from here, so I joined the Army in 2008, left it in 2012. We stuck around in Colorado until he finished his service, and then we came back here. We started with other projects and whatnot, but when I heard that this position became available, with just being able to help my fellow veterans, I jumped on board and I was able to get it. And like I said, now I'm really eager to work with veterans and just the community in general, to be able to do more for our community. But that's what brought me here. 2 of our older ones are already in college. We have 2 younger ones here at the ISD. They're doing great, and that's another thing that I'm really eager to be working with the district, with the school district. If I may quickly say that the ISD is going to be hosting their big annual Veterans Day ceremony on November 11th, and it's a wonderful ceremony. They really do a great job. The staff, from the students, and so the community is welcome to join, and any veterans that are out there, we hope that they can make it, and because it really is, it's a great ceremony that they put on every year.
Excellent, thank you, Matt. Any other questions, comments from the commissioners?
Welcome.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here this morning. I know you've got some training to go.
I choose to excuse. I have a meeting I have to get to after this.
Of course you may. Thank you for being here this
Thank
morning,
you.
Ms. Musquez. Moving on, agenda item number 9, approve expo request for auditorium fee waiver from the Beeville Youth Sports Association for their event on Saturday, November 16, 2024. Do we have any members of the Beeville Youth Sports Association here this morning? That's okay if we don't. Mr. Rodriguez could not be here this morning. Obligations kept him away. This has been approved, and Wally recommends approval.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a couple seconds. Who'd you get, Cindy? Okay, Commissioner Betty is with the second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 10, approve expo request for auditorium fee waiver from the First Baptist Church School for their school auction on Tuesday, March 25th, 2025.
This is our major fundraiser for the year, and we would like to request if we could get some of the fees waived also. It will be on March 25th.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? What was that date again?
March 25th,
And you take all,
2025.
do you have to call somebody to get reservations, or is it pay at the door?
We'll be doing tickets. You can come in at the door. We'll do several different ways. Yes, sir.
It's my understanding, Mr. Knowlton, that it's gotten so big that it won't fit where y'all normally have it, so you want to bring it out to.
Well,
something-
we've been doing online auctions since COVID, and this is the first year back. And we still had a $500 retainer since 2019 that we had never used, and the office found it, and so that's how we got our foot in the door.
Good.
But this is the first time we've done it in 4 years, and I'm excited, and it's going well so far. The preparations are going very well so far.
Very good. That's excellent. Anything further? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, sir, for your
so much.
presentation.
Thank you.
Looking forward to it. Agenda item number 11, approve relocation of the maintenance building currently located on the Expo grounds. We had some discussion at the last agenda, or at the last Commissioners Court meeting. I think the Commissioners Court was of the mind that the building should be moved, given its current location and the entranceway to our new EOC building. I've spoken with maintenance a little bit about the movement of it. I know that some of the commissioners, some of y'all may have some opinions on that as well. I'll just throw out to start with that I think we need to move it. We do need to make sure that that when we do move it, it continues to be a full functioning office with electrical and sewer hookups. There will be costs associated with that. I don't know if we do have some quotes. I don't know if everybody's seen them. I think that may be better to do formally. But we might also be able to just give sort of a ceiling limit and then allow maintenance and Commissioner Linney, who's the Expo grounds, or is in his district or his precinct, a little bit of operational leniency to go ahead and get this done. We've got our EOC building almost finished. I know this will take a little bit of time, and expediency in this particular case has some value. I'll open the floor for discussion now.
Judge, if I could,
Yes, sir.
I'm one of these kind of people, I want to go see on site what's going on. I misunderstood some things that I thought I knew, I did not. But by going out there and going through the building, it is an office. It is the main office. There is no office in the Langley building. There is no office in the courthouse. There's a desk that the person uses here. I went through the building, also went through the equipment or the supply storage building. They need those. They need them out there. They need them exactly like they are. They do need to be moved. And what I saw and what I would recommend to the court, and I can make this in a motion if you'd like to, but I'm going to defer to Commissioner Lenny because it's in his sandbox, is that I looked at the bids that have already been taken. They know what they're doing. Mr. Yizageri and Gabe know where it needs to go. My opinion is that the court needs to back out of this. We are on the verge of micromanaging an operation that we really shouldn't be in. It's like the training I went through with the gears in the pyramid. You've got a pyramid, and when the top gear turns, the others go nuts. Well, we're the top gear, and we've been turning, and everybody else is going nuts. We need to back out. My recommendation, I won't make it in a motion yet because I know y'all have some things you want to talk about, would be to make a top amount of $15,000. I was told originally it was gonna cost $40,000 or $50,000 to move it. That is not correct. Make a not to exceed $15,000 for the move and the hookup and the re-hookup, and let the staff and Commissioner Lenny just get it moved, just do it. And us back out of it completely. We don't need to be in this.
Ms. Cantu, we have that for the move, or we got something stored away?
If that's what the court wants to do, you know, this was discussed at the very beginning of the project, to not incur more money. But of course, it's the judge, it's the court's decision.
That's 15, that includes plumbing, electricity, everything?
Everything. Because there's over 200,000 in an account.
They're
For
not
it.
good anymore. They're several months old, so everything would have to be
Have to
redone.
be.
What do we look about, like, if you had talked about last court, if Road and Bridge was actually moved the building?
I've changed my mind totally. It needs to be done professionally so it doesn't get torn up. I feel very strongly about that. And Road and Bridge, you got other things to do besides fiddling around moving the building. I feel very strongly, and I think 15,000 covered. I think all that has to be done to renew those bids is a phone call. Hey, you gave me a bid of so-and-so. Is it still good? If not, what is it? We're authorized, what, up to 50,000 without getting formal bids? It's in the money to do. And it needs to be done quickly because later on in this agenda, we're going to be approving a company to pour the concrete for the parking lot that goes right behind where this building is. We need to do it quickly and not fiddle with it.
Susie, I know you're out there. You got a location for it and everything else?
Yes, sir.
Did it work with the plumbing and the
Yes, sir.
electricity? Okay.
And I want to, while we're on it, I want to apologize to Mr. Yuzagari. I misunderstood what was going on, and sir, I extend my apologies to you.
So, if I may, I definitely support the movement of that. I mean, this process started months ago when we started having some conversation to look at the feasibility of actually making the move. I think we went out and we did our due diligence to the court and also to the community to ensure that we're getting the right pricing. Some of the pricing may have came a little bit high, so we were trying to deliberate a little bit. Hey, could we get a little bit better pricing before we move? And unfortunately, getting these prices took a little bit more time than wanted. But definitely, I think it's the best thing for the county to move it. It also provides better access during functions for Mr. Izagiri when he's trying to do the work there. Because what's happened in the past, even though there's a no parking zone, cars will go park, he needs to get to his office, and it's a little bit difficult to get to. The location that he picked out is perfect. It's going to minimize the cost for electrical, minimize the cost for water, and minimize the cost for sewer tie-in. So everything is right there, and then also for future use, I think will be good.
It's my understanding too that our emergency management director got involved and found a mover that'll move it for little or nothing, really.
It was $1,700.
Right, and he'll do it professionally, and if we move it, we may break it apart.
Commissioner?
I'm good with that.
Mrs. Cantu, is this hot funds qualified?
I'd rather use our interest from our funds. That's what I'd rather use, just because hot funds, we have so much more that we need to, to accomplish out of the expo besides moving this building. I don't really recommend hot funds.
Okay, we can use interest off of the ARPA funds. That sounds fine to me. Okay, any further discussion? Commissioner DeWitt, did you have a motion you wanted to make?
Yes, sir, if you would, I'd like to make a motion that we authorize Commissioner Lenny and the maintenance staff to review those bids, update them for an amount not to exceed $15,000 and get that rascal moved. The maintenance, Mr. Yuzagiri knows exactly where it needs to go and get it done as soon as possible.
That
It come out of our interest from our ARPA funds.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Yuzagiri. Thank you, Mrs. Cantu. Moving on, agenda item number 12, approve the use of AA Forensic Services as a vendor for complete toxicology reports on a case-by-case basis for B County's Justice of the Peace Office's toxicology draw authorizations.
That's tough.
Yeah, that was a mouthful. For everybody in the audience, this is largely housekeeping, but so that y'all are aware, we don't have any JPs in the the audience. I wanted them to be here, and they're not here. But they were kind enough to invite me to a lunch to meet with the owner of AA Forensic Services, so that y'all know there are times in B County when citizens pass away. When they pass away, and it might not be suspicious causes, but the JP may not be able to identify the actual cause of death, especially in rural counties when people pass away out in the country. Oftentimes there's not a way for the JP to declare what that cause of death is. So one of the things that they have to do is issue an autopsy. Autopsies in the state of Texas and across the United States of America are expensive. And they're getting more expensive because you have to be a medical doctor. And if you're a medical doctor, you don't get paid as much working as a, what are they called? Forensic pathologist, as you would be if you were a family practitioner. So it's not drawing a lot of new doctors into the industry. South Texas is challenged as well with very few medical officers and medical offices that are able to provide autopsies in our region. There are, I think, 3. Bexar County won't take any out-of-county patients. So that being said, AA Forensic Services, oftentimes all the JP needs is a toxicology report, not a full autopsy. So AA Forensic Services provides that solution to our JPs when necessary, when a full autopsy is not required. It'll save the county on transportation costs as well as autopsy costs to the tune of thousands of dollars. This is something that we want to provide our JPs with the opportunity, using their discretion, to engage just as their discretion and their obligation, just as we defer to them when it comes to the ordering of autopsies as a routine course of business. Are there any questions? Discussion?
Tell them what an autopsy is.
Oh gosh, I don't know. Oh no. Okay, so does everybody on the back row know what an autopsy is? An autopsy is when a medical doctor conducts an investigation into the body of an individual that has passed away. And it is a very complete process. It's time consuming. It's technical, and in some cases it is incredibly important. If you think about vehicular accidents on our streets where somebody dies, or crimes that have been committed, autopsies can be incredibly important. And so the quality of medical professional, the quality of product that they do is incredibly important in the interests of justice. Is that good enough? Perfect. You've heard me on the spot like that. Does anybody else want to have a difficult discussion about that? All right, I'd entertain a motion to approve. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. I should have just said this is housekeeping. Agenda item number 13, set public hearing date pursuant to Texas Transportation Code, Chapter 253, entitled County Improvement of Subdivision Roads, Vernon's, 2003, to consider placement of 2 no-through trucks signs from North Highway 181 on West King Lane to Farm to Market Road 623 in B County. Commissioner DeWitt, this is your agenda item. You have the floor, sir.
Yes, gentlemen, what's happening, we have another situation where the trucks are cut across Shorty. There's a large rock pit on the east side of West King Lane. They normally go to Toledo on Highway 181 and get on the Farm to Market Road. They've got a bunch of new drivers that are cutting through now. They're running people off the roads. This will take care of it before we have an accident or one thing or another, and I would move to approve this.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
I have a motion and a second, and that date is November 12th, 2024.
At 10 a.m., sir?
10 a.m.
And, the motion includes to set the public hearing date for November 12th at 10 a.m.
Okay. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. Agenda item number 14, approve request to allow the Beeville Garden Club to conduct Veterans Day ceremony on the west side of courthouse grounds on Monday, November 11th, 2024. Mrs.
morning.
Commissioner DeWitt, you have the floor.
I am not just Mrs. Commissioner DeWitt, I am the former state president of Texas Garden Club. Currently the vice president of Beeville Garden Club. I have with me the chairman of the Veterans Day program, Sherry Coker. I'm not the chairman.
I'm sorry, I'm not the chairman. I'm
She's
Cheryl Coker.
And she's on the committee. We would like your approval to use the grounds for our annual Veterans Day, which has been going on since the 50s, here at this location, except for the year that we did it at the high school and got them started doing it. And that was while I was teaching there. We would like to be able to use the chairs, the podium, and your sound system. And we would like all of y'all to attend, including you children. It's a very important thing to honor our veterans for all of their service. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. DeWitt. Is there a motion?
Judge, I'll make a motion to approve that we allow the garden club to use the west side of the courthouse. And we
Give them whatever they want.
That's right. That's absolutely
Is that
correct.
20 chairs is what you normally get?
Yes.
And the podium and the sound system.
Yes.
I have a motion and a second. 50 years, I think we would have been remiss and all in very big trouble, as she is a former teacher, if we had failed to honor your request. Is there any further discussion? I'll say on behalf of everybody here on Commissioners Court, thank you for your tireless service, for the courthouse grounds beautification that you've done so much for, and the Garden Club has done so much for over the past decades. Thank you for your participation honoring our veterans. And if there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you all very
We
much.
appreciate your compliance.
Good.
Thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate y'all going along with this.
That is a teacher right there.
That's right.
That
I'm
was
gonna get to stay in the
well-chosen
house tonight.
words. Yeah.
He has to go home.
Moving on, agenda item number 15, approve request to establish the name of B County's mineral yard to Jesse Arredondo III yard in recognition of Mr. Arredondo's selfless dedication to B County for 32 years and 6 months of faithful service to the constituents of B County. Commissioner DeWitt, this is your agenda item. You have the floor, sir.
Yes, Judge. I was approached by a family member about doing something for Mr. Arredondo. Mr. Arredondo, like it says here, worked faithfully for over 32 years. The last part of his career, he was a road and bridge administrator. His health was poor to say the least, but he soldiered on. He was taking dialysis treatments, he was chemotherapy, and he kept coming to work and he kept doing his job. That gentleman could operate any piece of equipment we had. He knew what he was doing. He was totally dedicated. I think till the day he passed away, he woke up every morning thinking of road and bridge. It's time to go to work. I got to go do something. And this would be the very least I think we could do. Right now, there's a sign at the yard that says B County Mineral Yard Road and Bridge, and simply changing that to B County Jesse Arredondo III Road and Bridge Mineral Yard would be something very simple to do, and I think it would make the family feel very good. He lived out toward the mineral community. Great person, passed away roughly 6 months ago, 8 months ago. And I would recommend the court that we do this and that we pay for the appropriate sign, the road and bridge pay for the sign.
That's a motion.
Yes.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yes, I'd like to add something. Commissioner DeWitt is spot on. I had the honor and the privilege to basically spend a full day with Mr. Arredondo the day before he passed away, driving through the roads of South Peak County and identifying items that needed to be repaired, fixed, and so forth. His attitude was overwhelming to me as I think back and reflect of our conversation. We were laughing, we were smiling. Never once mentioned his illness having an impact on what we were planning to do. His attitude was impeccable. I mean, it was just something that I'll always remember, smiling, laughing. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. He was He really provided value that day for me.
What, Judge, if you would, what we can do, we'll authorize Road and Bridge to go ahead and get the sign prepared. Once the sign is done, before we put it up, we'll let the court know, we'll let the family know they might want to be at the, have a little ceremony, have a little ceremony at Mineral, and we'll go from there. We'll keep the court, because it'll take a while to get the sign.
Excellent. Yeah, I like the heck out of Mr. Arredondo as well. He was a wonderful asset for B County, for his family. He was a great guy, and he will be missed. His time was too short.
Well, think about what Commissioner Oliver just said. The day before he passed away, he's out there working.
His attitude was great.
It really was. I admire folks like that. I hope when our time comes, we can be like that.
Yeah, not one complaint. I mean, it was, you had to be there to appreciate it. It was pretty awesome.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception.
Thank you, gentlemen. I really appreciate it.
Yes, sir, thank you. Moving on, agenda item number 16, approve district attorney's request for permission to use the county credit card to pay for all attorney bar dues and conference reservations during fiscal year 2024-2025.
Judge, I moved to approve, but I have a question with the word all. Can we just approve it without?
I'm a lawyer, are we approving me?
Yeah. I'll approve it without the word all. Yeah. Without the word all.
Without the word all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think the intent is that for this fiscal year, those fees will come up and they won't.
They want to use
I
it.
understand what you're
Actually, you understand what I'm saying?
Yes, and they used it last year as well.
Second.
We just missed it last year.
And for the children
Well, I don't
in the
know how
room,
they agenda
I know.
to be an attorney licensed in the state of Texas, you have to pay fees to what is called the Bar Association, not just a bar.
Oh, very good, Judge.
We are, as attorneys, we're all members of a bar association, which is like the club of lawyers in the state of Texas. Not, again, I'm having a real problem with all the words that I'm using. A bar, a club. Y'all know what I mean. There's no further discussion. I'm going to go ahead and dig out of this one. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception.
Thank you for explaining that.
Yes, ma'am. Just muddling through all of this. Did I get a motion in a second?
Yes.
I know. I feel half-dressed.
But you did the pledge.
I'm really disappointed that y'all didn't get the message. Candy, Sharon, what happened? I told you I wanted it to be business had cash today. You didn't get it to the other commissioners. Now I'm sitting up here like a sore thumb. All right.
You're special.
Yeah. We all know that. Agenda item number 17, approve B County Clerk's request for permission to use the county credit card for payment of the Otter Business subscription for the Commissioners Court meeting minutes from October 11, 2024 to October 11, 2025.
I
Yes,
just want to
Mrs.
say
Kincaid.
that it was already charged. This was not brought before this fee hit, so this is after the fact.
We are asking for forgiveness.
Sounds like it.
Move to approve.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Maybe we should have little feelers on these to make sure that they don't get missed in the future.
Yes, the county clerk. Yes.
Moving on, the city doesn't just here. Agenda item number 18, approved lease agreement between B County and Rico USA for the B County Tax Office.
Move to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Mrs. Mattis, is there anything you'd like to share with Commissioners Court? Not at all? Okay, well, thank you for being here. If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Why is this separate from our big contract?
I already
Okay,
asked her.
so Kyocera is the big contract. At the time we went for the bid for Kyocera, this contract had just begun.
Oh.
So
Gotta be different.
At the time, we were told that the tax office would re-up with us to come into our,
Into the fold.
But Ms. Mattis has opted not to go with you, sir.
My exact words.
Fair enough. All right. Agenda item number 19, approve renewal of food service CPI, Consumer Price Index agreement between B County and Trinity Group Services, Inc. for the B County Law Enforcement Center jail. Chief Deputy Jones, do you have anything to present on this? It's housekeeping.
Move to approve with comment.
I've got a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. Commissioner DeWitt, you have the floor.
For those in the audience that aren't aware, when Judge Moreno was our county judge, we initiated meals that were provided instead of having a staff cook the meal. Over the years since that time, we've renewed it several times, and I'm going to hazard a guess. Probably $1 million we've saved.
$200,000 annually.
$200,000 annually by doing this contract. And some of the things in the contract, and I'll just read some of the prices. You're gonna wonder how in the world they can do this, but to my knowledge, they're decent meals. They have so much protein. They're approved meals, that sort of thing.
2,000 calories, right?
Yeah, we're gonna say there.
The calorie
Not
count
2,000?
last year.
We're almost at a rise.
How much is it now? 30?
I think it's 33 or 34. I'd have to check, but it's.
We upped it.
The state has a
Guideline.
a guideline, and we're well above it.
And we have approximately how many prisoners at any one time out there?
Our ADP is about 110 now.
Okay, looking down the list, when we go here to 110 to 119, $1.82.5. $1.83 a meal is what it's costing us to provide a decent meal for the prisoners. So that's a good thing.
Commissioner, I hate to correct you, but this has actually come up. They're not prepared meals. We cook in-house.
Right, but it's portions. We've got all the equipment and everything to be sure the portions all the same and that sort of thing.
If it calls for 4 ounces, that's exactly what it is.
Right. Instead of, give me a little bit more. There it goes. And that's what's saving the money. But for 110 to 119, it's a little over $1.82, $1.83. That's pretty good. Like I say, saving over $200,000 a year just on meals alone. So our hats are off to y'all for keeping this up and making sure it's doing what it needs to, and increasing it to keep the prison population well-fed and happy.
Well, this is just an increase in the cost of everything. Food's gone up. That's what this is.
Right.
Well, the savings do help us offset the cost of
Yes, sir.
one-off contracts for printers or other. Be part of the big group. Thank you, Commissioner. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 20, approved service agreement between B County and Texas Air Systems for the B County Law Enforcement Center. Chief Deputy Jones, you have the floor, sir.
We had a service agreement with
Train.
Didn't work out so well. Texas Air had, we experienced some issues here in the last year. Texas Air has been the one to solve those problems. And we think a maintenance agreement with them makes sense at this point.
Judge, if I could, I'll make a motion to approve. The amount that I see on the contract is $52,000 for the first year of the agreement. And we pay $13,000 quarterly, not including tax. Reading through the contract and what they do, it is very, very, very detailed, and I totally agree with everything that you guys have put in that contract.
That was, I'd like to acknowledge Stacy. She's been all over this.
Well, Stacy, you did a great job. This is a fantastic contract. They do everything that needs to be done. It's appreciated. And that's my motion to approve.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
So we have paid train this past year.
That was last fiscal year.
Okay, and that was for the fiscal year?
Yes.
From October to September?
Yes, ma'am. And we included in our budget to go with
To-
train. I actually negotiated with them because their initial contract was higher.
Okay.
And I negotiated with them and got them down to what it is, so that we, because I had already.
Budget,
Yes.
because that's about what we
Yes.
have budgeted.
And I think there's a discount if we paid in full, so.
We'll look at it.
Yeah.
But they're ready to go, there's not a lag between.
They've actually already come, and I've already gotten the first report.
Okay. Good.
Sorry.
Good.
Also, I'll address that a little bit later on today. No further discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you, Chief Deputy, for your presentation. Let's see, agenda item number 21, approve correctional communication services agreement between B County and City Telecom Company, Inc. for the B County Law Enforcement Center Jail.
Our CTC, or City Telecom, is our inmate communications system, phones, tablets, via kiosks. This is Brandon Cotton. He's a representative with the company. So a little bit about this company, or a testament to it. We've been with this organization since 1990. It's a very, very competitive market. Every conference we go to, everybody's trying to get food service. There's a bunch of things they try to, come in with them better. We've shopped around. These guys are the best guys out there. Their service, everything they do is top notch. We have no issue. We'd like to enter into a 5-year contract, which includes a bonus, which will affect the next administration. I've already talked to the incoming sheriff, and he's on board with this as well.
Move to approve.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you for anticipating my question, Chief Deputy. Agenda item number 22, approve auction agreement between B County and Apple Towing Company for the B County Law Enforcement Center. Chief Deputy.
This is a company we've used for years. Stacy has a great relationship. We yell back and forth. If we have a problem, they take care of it. There's no issues, no need to change.
Move to approve.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Is that all y'all have on the agenda today? Thank you all for being here. You're welcome to leave if you want, but you're also welcome to stay. Agenda item number 23, approve county attorney's request for permission to use the county credit card for the purchase of the Texas Family Law Practice Manual online annual subscription. This is largely housekeeping.
So move.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you for being here this morning, Christina. We have addressed agenda item number 24, what seems like a lifetime ago. Moving on to agenda item number 25, approve and award contractor for request for proposals, RFP number 23/24-003, Emergency Operations Center parking lot for the construction of a concrete parking lot around the new building. I have this as Mrs. Cantu agenda item.
So you have the scoring sheet attached to your agenda, and highlighted is the vendor that is recommended for court approval. So would you have any questions?
Are there any questions? I open the floor for discussion.
They've already scored.
Yes, they've already scored. They went into their discussions. Jen was not able to be here this morning, but she had already met. They already.
I think you were on the scoring committee also.
Yes.
It looked like they did a good job.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank Mr. Garza, Mr. Reyes, and Mr. Izagiri for going through that effort. So kids, again, part of the government process is when we want to build something new or undertake a large project, we have to go through a series of checks and balances. And one of those processes is called a sealed bid process, wherein we tell the world we've got a project and we want somebody to provide what we call a bid, which is a offer to do the work that we're asking for at a set price. And so they all come in over a period of 30, 60, 90 days. It depends on the time frame. Usually it's 30 days. And at the end of the 30th day, at a specified time, we unseal the bids, and then a scoring committee reviews every single one of those bids against a uniform set of metrics and assigns point values to them, kind of like grading a test. And then at the end of the day, they compare all of the points, and the bid that scores highest is usually the bid that the governmental entity goes with. And so that's what we're doing right now, is we've had our committee score these bids, and they're providing their recommendation to the court. And as your commissioners, we feel very comfortable trusting and entrusting to our staff, department heads and elected officials in B County, the important job of going through the process of due diligence. Is there anything further?
No, we've used Domingo before with this company,
Yeah,
and they've done excellent work, so.
So I will go ahead and make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, gentlemen. So now JL Squared is going to be the entity that's going to pour the concrete for us. Agenda item number 26, approve the district judges of the 36th, 156th, and 343rd Judicial Districts order for the reappointment of April Cantu as B County Auditor for a period of 2 years, effective November 1, 2024. I know this will have a lot of discussion. I open the floor. Who wants to go first?
I'll go. So I just would like to recognize April's effort for me being the newbie, the rookie on the Commissioners Court. She has been outstanding, from her leadership to educating me here on county processes, the auditing process, reporting, getting into the details. Any questions that I went to her and needing some help to understand how the county works, where the money's being spent. She's always been there for me. So thank you very much.
Who wants to follow that? Go ahead, Commissioner Fidias.
Ms. Cantu and her staff do an incredible job there, and they keep us in line, keep us out of trouble, out of jail. With all of our.
Try.
I'll explain in a minute.
We follow the, she makes us sure that we follow the rules. So with that, I'll pass to Commissioner DeWitt.
I have several things I'd like to say. Part of the training we go through as commissioners, they tell us there's several things that will keep us out of jail. One of them is listen to the auditor. The second one is listen to the county attorney. So that's one of her main jobs, is to be sure we do things legally. But I want to say, and I mean this from the heart, in a previous career I worked directly with an auditor, several auditors. In this career I worked with at least 3 auditors prior to Ms. Cantu. This lady is the finest auditor I have ever worked with. She knows what she's doing. She's very, very easy to work with. I've never seen her get upset with people. She may go home and break pencils at home when she gets home. But she does her job. She does it well. Her staff seems to enjoy working there, and to me that shows what a resource the person is when they have a staff that likes going there, because they deal with numbers. They deal with people. Maybe it's a commissioner comes, I want to do this with the commissioner, and she'll say, now commissioner, we really can't do it that way. She does a great job, and it's a pleasure to work with her. We're lucky to have her. We really are. I worked in my time in government. I worked with probably 7 or 8 different auditors. She's the best.
Thank you. Commissioner Lenny?
Well, I think the resident has spoke very well, elegant, highly of you, and I agree with every one of them. And I thank you for everything that you and your office do for this county as a whole. Without you, we couldn't be.
I have a wonderful, top-notch staff, and I appreciate all your kind words. Thank you very much. I enjoy my job immensely. I love coming to work, regardless of the challenges and the challenges we face daily. So thank you very much for your kind words. And my district judges, I thank them for being very supportive of my office as well.
Chief Deputy, did you want
I
to?
hope it's not inappropriate, but as it's been told, I've been here for 30 years. She's by far the best auditor we've ever had.
Thank you.
Something else, it's kind of like we were talking about the sheriff's office earlier, they're working, you don't see them. This lady's up here on weekends and nights. I've seen her vehicle up here, making sure things are done and they're processed like they should be. So it's not an 8 to 5 job. And we see it, we notice it, we appreciate it.
All of this effervescence is really going to make my comments land like a rock. You know, it'd be so much easier if we could just do what we wanted and not have to worry about where the money comes from or what's proper and improper. No, I echo everybody's comments. April's wonderful for the kids in the back. Our auditor follows all money that comes into the county. That's tax revenue, grant funds, other sources of revenue or income that we receive in the execution of our county obligations. And she follows all of the money as it goes out. It's an incredibly complicated process. We are a small county, but our budget is a couple hundred pages. What is our total budgeted amount?
20 million.
We're about a $20 million budget. In her office and her staff, they can tell you where every penny goes and where it comes from. It's incredibly important for the reasons why the commissioners mentioned, but it's also very important because through knowing specifically where your money is, you end up being more efficient with the use of your money. So her office is directly responsible for county savings over the term of her position here in the hundreds of thousands and likely millions of dollars. So thank you as well, and I think the district judges have made a good pick. I'm not surprised that they elected to keep you in this position, and I hope that this continues for a long time to come. Does somebody have a motion?
Move to approve, sir. Second.
I have a motion and a second. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Agenda item number 27, approve official bond and oath for the reappointment of April Cantu, B County Auditor.
Move to approve.
Second.
Not a whole lot of discussion this time. Wow. There's no further discussion. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. Thank you, Mrs. Cantu. Agenda item number 28, approve B County Auditor's request for permit, and it always comes with a question. Oh, look at that. Timing is everything, kids. Agenda item number 28, approve B County Auditor's request for permission to use the county credit card for county management and risk conference reservation at Kalahari Resort in April 2025.
Okay, so I can tell you that this was a
There's a chart.
duplicate from the September 9th. This was already done and the reservations have already been completed.
Forgiveness again.
Okay, so we already did approve. See, and that is why having an auditor is so incredibly important. Okay, so I'll pass on agenda item number 28. Thank you, April. Agenda item number 29, approve B County Auditor's request for permission to use the county credit card for payment of fiscal year 2025 City of Beeville utility bills.
Move to approve.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Yes, sir. For the young ladies and gentlemen in the back, when we use a credit card, there's a whole lot of paperwork that doesn't have to be done. And in government, paperwork takes time and money. And this is much simpler, and it's boom, 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 it's done, because here's the amount, here's this, then a check is issued. This circumvents a lot of things, and we're able to do this. And it's becoming more and more prevalent to do.
Yes, and the city, we do ACH with the city, and so we do this annually. Yes, sir, thank you.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, motion passes without exception. We have no executive session items on the agenda. Move forward with agenda item number 30, which is adjourned. Oh, whoa, wait, what? Oh, thank you. Everybody's the auditor this morning.
Just watching out for you.
No, thank you for catching that. Commissioners, I had pulled from agenda item number 7, packet page number 86. which is a request from Road and Bridge Department to utilize the county credit card for, somebody can shout it out if they know it offhand.
Jonathan.
I'm trying to go to page 86.
Jonathan?
Jonathan, it's printed on your agenda. I printed it.
Oh, that's right. It's right back here.
There's Jonathan right there. Sir.
Hey, Jonathan, how are you, sir? To pay for conference registration, membership, and hotel accommodations on October 28th to October 31st, 2024. This wasn't as a separate agenda item. It was contained in our consent agenda. That's why I pulled it. I'd open the floor for discussion, or if commissioners are comfortable proceeding as is, I'd entertain a motion.
Move to approve. Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Jonathan, thank you for being here, sir.
I appreciate it.
If there's no further discussion, all those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Excuse me. All opposed? Motion passes without exception. Thank you sincerely, Ms. Mattis, Ms. Estrada, Ms. Lemons, for catching that before I called agenda item number 30, which is adjournment. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor, please indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We are adjourned. Thank you for being here this morning. Thank you for your time.